Alright, here we are again with some bonus battle inspections with new vehicles, expensive vehicles, 300k new cost limit. So let's just see what we have here. First up, the Cuddlebringer by Kiwi. It looks like a boat, very much. And using APS? Yeah, it's APS. Interesting setup. Decent fire rate. Didn't reduce this. I tend to do that, but whatever.
Yeah, that's something that gets missed quite a bit, and
Yeah,
the
this
newer
usually I
players.
put it all the way down, but well, let's just see what shell it's using. Looks like APHE.
APHE, yep.
And it is emergency ejection defused.
Uh,
5
good
meter
call
length.
there.
Pretty much exactly 5 meters. So I'm gonna assume it's 5 meter loaders too. 30 AP and 9k AP. It's not the best KD by AP, but I guess the explosive damage isn't bad.
It'll still pen a couple of metal beams.
Yeah, it'll get through like 2 or
Probably
3.
outer layers for a lot of ships.
Pretty much just sap.
Aye.
It's throwing a lot of it. It's throwing 10 of them at like every 4 seconds, I guess. Yeah, it's about 4 seconds. It has a lot of gun. It's got a massive funnel. Interesting. Little radar back here. Oh, that little bit of processing power missing is so annoying. How do you even get that extra 0.1? That's...
Is that from the laser?
It's gotta be. I think it's somewhere up here, if anything. Yeah, that's an active
Yeah.
radar. Coincidence rangefinder and normal visual cams. Flag post. Knowing Veggie the laser is somewhere. Is it in here? No, that's just a visual camera. Shield projectors. Decently strong. 6.5. I'm wondering why they're all the way up here though. Protecting the superstructure isn't usually a priority.
I wonder. Well, they are angled. Might be somewhat decent against like incoming cram shells.
Yeah, true. Gonna put sun intensity down.
And of course, don't forget the
Oh,
shielding protects pretty well against lasers.
yeah. We'll see if there's smoke too, I guess. Just gotta do this. Is there anything in here? Oh yeah, I do see you in chat too, Skitty. Doesn't actually look like there's any smoke this time around. Interesting. Lots of applique. Lots of air pumps. And yeah, it is ejector. Looks like free clip Tetris. Yeah, it is. Interesting layout, I must say.
The ejectors are probably a good call.
Yeah, at least that helps with survivability. What is it?
Yeah.
It looks like 9x9 turrets. It isn't the layout I'd chosen, but then again, I only have triple turrets for that size. AI looks like only one. Yeah, it's only one. Okay. 2 AIs actually. There's one back here too.
Yay, redundancy. Alright. Looks like there was a breadboard there too.
That's an ACV.
Nope, up front.
Up front? Where?
Yeah, on that one, the other side.
The other side?
Yeah,
Where?
up. Keep going. Oh, keep going forward.
Oh yeah, there.
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
Well, nothing there, huh?
oh look, there is something back.
Or oh, there is.
There's
There
something back
is.
here. It's just hidden.
Yeah.
I guess that's basically the movement control. What does the circle at distance say? Combat distance 900 meters. Should do. I think the range limit for bonus battles was 1 kilometer, so you'll have to see if that actually turns in time, if it goes too far. But well, should work, I guess. Ammo looks to be well spread out. Does it how much armor does the ammo have? Yeah, it's literally the outside of the hull, I think. Yeah, it is. I mean, it is very spread out, so it should be fine. These holes are interesting. Okay,
It looks
Akko.
almost like there might have been ammo boxes there, and then they might have been taken out.
It looks to me more like he kind of just... Yeah, it looks like he F-keyed with the beam slopes and these parts were just kind of not filled.
Could be. Could be.
We've got... Is it direct drive steam engines? It is direct drive. It's going relatively fast actually, especially for turning with large rudders right now. Gonna see how fast this goes without turning. Why does it want to constantly turn? Well, I'll just fight it then. There we go. 44. That's not bad for being this big.
Actually, pretty decent.
I do need to check how many materials does that require. Yeah, that almost 30. Yeah, that's to be expected. Pretty high armor cost in general. And only APS, so the APS is the only firepower it has. Some internal wooden decks. Not really any armor on bow and stern, that's to be expected. Is this a gun? Yeah, it is. It's got one layer of metal on the turret, then heat protection and 2 layers of metal, and the outer hull. So it isn't the thickest armor ever. Right, where's the AI at? Okay, there's one here.
Kind of reminds me of a Cold War era design, except less missiles.
It's more like a very early Cold War design with lots of dual turrets, I guess. Like directly after World War II, some designs like this were around with 10 guns. Also, we found the tracker that requires like 0.1 detection. There it is. The bridge very much looks like it's not from Cold War, that's for sure. But I didn't see any...
The overall design.
Yeah, the overall design with the layout and everything. Also, it really doesn't like turns apparently, with how it's currently rolling over. Well,
At least it slants into the turn rather than out of the turn.
yeah,
I mean, as far as aiming the guns, that can help.
kind of, yeah, it can be
I mean,
helpful.
yeah. Like if it was doing it the other way around, the guns might not be able to depress far enough. They'd hit the deck.
Yeah, right, we'll just see whatever... Yeah, we'll spawn a Prowler for combat testing. Let's just see how it does. Did it? I think it shot itself. Yeah, it did. Well, it did kill the Prowler in like 3 shots though.
Yeah, that didn't take too long.
So that's not too bad. Yeah, I think we have a very interesting little vehicle here. Fast, lots of APS. Looks to be very well shielded all around.
Hopefully, it doesn't end up its own worst enemy.
Yeah, it is burning through materials relatively quickly. And yeah, there's some... I don't know, what are you doing here, my friend? You do
Graphical
not seem like you
artifacts.
belong there. There we go. Is that on the other side too? It isn't. I don't know what that was about then. Well, it's gone. Is there another point where this happens? Like this weird little just extra mesh? Doesn't look like it. So yeah, I think we can let this one pass the way it is. There were no Reaper bots or anything, judging by how long it took for this cannon to be repaired. In other words, it didn't get repaired. Yeah, this little vehicle looks like a fun fella. Next new vehicle we have, the Cursed Material Burn by Blunderguy. Also in the 300k range. And... oh my. I remember this. This design is just two of the vehicles from New Rumble 11, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Should have a pack down here? Or... yeah, there should be a pack somewhere, I think.
Are there any of us though that haven't joined two of our own vehicles together to form a monstrosity like that?
I mean, there's...
I mean, I know I have, so.
there are some people here that do it regularly, some people don't. Okay, so the pack is gone, I think. That's like how he saved the cost to get that central part.
Yeah, packs are very expensive.
Yeah, but that's gone. It did get a bit of a bigger lamps though, I think, with that central part. Okay, we've got AI, point at and maintain distance. Combat altitude, very well chosen to be just above the DQ altitude. Combat distance is well within the restricted limits. How's the lamps looking? That's got a very good sustained damage per second. And are all the lamps different systems? That would be interesting to know. Doesn't look like it. But actually, yeah, it is. This is a separate system. We've got ejector railguns here. What's the shell looking like? Oh, so yeah, this required accuracy is set.
Yeah, I'm curious also what the rail draw was on that. I didn't quite get a look what the railgun draw is set to.
Rail draw, what's...
Yeah,
it
okay.
is barely enough. The rail use is barely below the capacity.
Right. It's right there. And
Recoil is very well balanced, and cooling, autoloader, and ammo intake also very well balanced, I should say. How's it looking? It's got AP shells. Very short AP shells at that. 4 meter.
APHG frag. The super calf.
Yeah, it's below water, so super calf does make some sense. But super calves with payload are an interesting choice still. Lots of kinetic damage. Around twice of what Kiwi had. This is about 3 times as high though, because there's a little bit more AP too. Explosive damage is also higher, to be expected from 500mm guns. I assume. Yeah, it's 500.
Yeah.
And yeah, the damage per fragment, yeah, this is also relatively decent.
Going with the old 180
Yeah,
on
that's something interesting. 180.
the AP frag. Yeah.
Wait, what other shells do we have? We've got. Just see this one. It's looks like a. Is it a sandblaster shell? Yeah. Oh wait, it isn't. It's 100 millimeter. Which gun uses this then? That's gotta be. This is a 60 mil. No, that's using this shell, which looks like it's a Seawish shell. About 20 AP. And it isn't. It is not a diff, but yeah, it looks like a Seawish. Is this one the same deal? Yeah, it looks like it is.
Yeah.
Oh, are those the not armored clips? Okay. What were their names again? Yeah, it's just the normal ammo clips, not the solid ones. You don't usually see those, but I don't think it makes
Yeah.
any difference.
It can on lag. If someone has a
Yeah.
poor system, having the armored clips is less CPU intensive because it needs to keep up with showing each of the bullets in the clip as they're emptied. So, I mean, it's not a big difference, but it could be relevant in some tournaments. So
Yeah.
keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's true. It can do that too, yeah. Okay, we do have heat missiles, remote guidance,
Ooh.
and short range thrusters. Are these just going to shoot into the sky and drop down like guided bombs? That would be
Do,
interesting.
do they have a delay on them? On the
On the guidance, you mean?
delay on the thrust?
Thrust, forehead arming delay, guidance activation delay. Yeah, they do have a delay on them.
Yeah. Okay. So they are intended to go up and then aim and then shoot straight towards the target.
Well, we'll see in the moment when we test it against the Prowler again. This is
Mm.
this gotta be the 100 millimeter. Yeah, it is. So this is where that shell came from. Just see, did I miss any shell types? Don't think I did. Wait, no, this is not a Seawiz. Well, it's got a lot of guns. Oh look, there's some down here too.
That actually did look more Seawiz with the heavy head and the stabilizer fin.
Yeah, this is a Sabo head. That's so here they are. They're hidden down here.
Mm.
Interestingly enough, these are solid clips. So I don't know, maybe it was just misclick on the one gun up here.
Mm-hmm.
Just, yeah, these are also all solid, so yeah, it's just one gun that doesn't have them.
Yeah, it could just be a saved prefab too. Yeah.
Yeah. Compared to the vehicle we had before, very low armor cost. Slightly higher firepower. Missile is not the highest, so that's fine entirely. And yeah, how's resource burn looking? It isn't too bad, I think. It's got a lot of fuel engines. No repair bots, no nothing like that, yeah. This should be completely fine. So let's just see what happens when we spawn a Prowler. I'm very curious about the missiles now. Yeah, it's lobbing them up. They start aiming and just basically launch into that direction with the
Hmm.
short range thruster.
Still slightly too much distance for him right now, but as it draws closer,
Yeah, they did
that won't
still
be a
hit.
problem.
They did still preserve enough speed to hit, fortunately. Wait, it did also just launch torpedoes. Yeah, it's got torpedoes somewhere too. Also, there goes the AI as always. Tends to do that, apparently. But yeah, this vehicle, two of the ones that had relatively good chances in New Rumble 11 in general, especially against APS vehicles. We'll see if it does better in the bonus battles, I guess. It could even
Some
fight two of its older predecessors, if somebody wanted to see that battle.
some nice artistry as well with the webbing.
Yeah. Alright, moving on, we've got The Limitless by Scitsher. Now, I did already somewhat look at this one, but all in all, it's mostly a realism ship, relatively. It's got a somewhat sloped shape on the superstructure, which gives it a kind of Cold War look. But the
Yeah,
turrets don't very much look like World War II style still.
it's almost like if you mix the Steel Striders with Deepwater Guard
Yeah,
in a way.
it kind of looks like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, one of the weaknesses I did find while looking at it myself already, it doesn't have any heat protection on this barbette. And that's the turret back here without any ejectors, I think.
Mm.
Same goes for this turret going in here. Yeah, and they also reach up into the turret cap, and this is like literally 1 meter of metal protecting the gun.
Yeah, that could be a problem.
So they tend to be relatively explosive, I shall say, if they do get hit. Especially by heat shells. We've got a Seawis back here. I did not take a closer look at that yet. Or at the shells in general. So yeah, we've got just a nice little Seawis. Got 16 AP, 933 damage.
That looks very similar to some that I've seen on Steel Strider designs.
Yeah, the turret design too. Looks
Yeah,
very Steel Strider-ish.
which is based on a real, actual CWIS system.
Yeah. I
I
think the
forget what the
top
name of
part
it's
here.
called, though. Huh.
I think the top part right here also kind of looks like Steel Strider ships. I mean, some of them have something somewhat similar.
Yeah, like a radar tower.
Okay, this little wireless receiver. Mesh hide. Please. Well, it wouldn't be seen normally, but now that I know it exists, pain. We do have a lot of munition warners. That's nice at least. And yeah, more munition warners. Lots of radar. These turrets have their own detections too. Yeah, they have some rangefinders integrated. Lots of interesting decorations, I guess. It looks very nice. But let's just move on, I guess. Ah, look, it's got surge protectors. Also, it's in the 150k range, so that's something to keep in mind. How's the ammo protected? I wonder. Looks like a very thick main belt and then like another meter of metal. Or 2 meters of metal on the bottom. Sitting right below the turrets though. There's the AI. Rubber and a double layer of metal. How's the behavior looking? Well, it should try to be closer than this, but the minimum range should be fine, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, there's the Seavers. It's belt feeders as we expected. Some more surge protectors. Another boat with direct drive stream. And large rudders. What is different though compared to other vehicles is the ammo is just all in one spot. So, very risky choice, perhaps. Without much further, I'll just see how it does against the Prowler. It should do fine. I've tested it against some of the Newbie Rumble vehicles for Newbie Rumble 12 and it did perform very well if the enemy didn't have any heat shields. The Seawolf is very good at shooting down crabs, I've found, actually.
Yeah, that it is.
Like, yeah, sure, this is just a Prowler, but I've seen it shoot down 5k tracking APHE crams at a relatively decent rate. And yeah, there goes the AI once more. I'll quickly just not load, but save the vehicle. Just so we do know who made it. Knowing me, I'll forget such things. There we go. And last but not least, the Oram Tutum 300k version. We'll see how... Yeah, it is 300k, that's fine. And it is quite big. It looks like a carrier almost with...
Yeah, it
deck.
looks like that's meant to be a carrier deck, but
Yeah. Well, we'll see what the AI settings say.
goodness, I hope that doesn't get in the way of the weaponry.
This thing is meant to kite away from 2000 meters looking at this. How about we just change this angle to like 75 degrees? So it doesn't run away immediately. And set this to, I don't know, 500? Should be fine that way. 85 degrees and then finally this one.
I hope that doesn't mess up the plan of...
Oh, it's 75. I'll set this to 85. Well, running away would just make it DQ, sadly, so
Oh, yeah.
it's gotta be done, sadly. Let's just see, what shell do we have here? Well, it is obviously a railgun. 45,000 rail draw. That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of payload. It's also got a super cav base. Not that that reduces the amount of damage it can do in any way. Actually, just out of curiosity, how much would this change the damage? Would bumps HE up by almost 1,000 at frag?
but the inaccuracy.
Yeah, that was just removing the super cav base for testing. But yeah, it bumps both up by about 1,000.
It's definitely one of the more interesting shells I've seen for a while.
Yep. Almost 20 RPM though, that's pretty decent for one gun. We have...
With that much rail draw, that's a lot of power generation.
Yeah.
This thing must have some hefty engines or steam plants.
Yeah, this thing has burned through materials if it fires that gun. Also, there's these short-range laser combiners.
Yeah,
That's
nifty.
drawing another... I guess it's going to draw 16k power too. Yeah, looks like it.
It's a hefty amount of damage, though.
Oh, it's got another bunch of lasers out here. It's the same system then compared to... Yeah, it's the same systems. Let's just quickly see detection. Detection is doing just fine. Oh,
Are
there was
those
some hidden... That's detection, actually. That looks like it's... Oh, it's lamps. Also linked up to the same system as the laser combiners. It's all just one system from the looks of it. Yeah, it is. And here we go.
Yeah, the engines.
The
engines.
The wall of engines. Is it like half the length of the vehicle being just engines? Jesus.
Yeah, looks like it.
Roundabout, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a little AI hidden back here. It does have smoke. Okay, there's some of these munition warners I'm not so sure they're needed, but oh well, it does have them. Okay. Laser transceivers. I guess they're just for decorative purposes. We do have what looks to be a walkable bridge. Well, semi-walkable at least. Stairs. We've got some computed stuff down here. Sub-vehicle spawners.
Carrier indeed.
Well, Skitty, why wouldn't it have prefab fuel engines though? I think they're designed by the person, by Acal. Aren't they around too? Yeah, they're in the call too.
Yeah, Acalypha.
Yeah, it's their vehicle. Just looking around. But yeah, it looks like these pack lenses are just decals hiding the lamps, which is a very interesting way of doing things.
It's a nice touch. I like it.
These laser rangefinders aren't decals though, they're real. They are around. And this little IR cam. Is that IR also? I think it's on the spin block actually, so these things can turn too. Yeah, they can. So yeah, let's just see. It's very interesting that the main gun is actually placed like in the middle of the superstructure.
Yeah.
It can only fire up to like there and there.
I do hope it doesn't get in the way of like the main weaponry there, like the whole carrier deck and everything.
Yeah. I think I know this vehicle from, or at least I think it was originally meant to be used in World at War. That's why the sub-vehicle spawners are in here too, if I had to guess.
Yeah, if it's a conversion, it makes more sense.
I think it's actually meant to be a carrier there too. So that does make sense. Yeah, okay, it'll broadside just fine. I didn't set it to some very uncomfortable range on the broadside. The gun works just fine with how I set it.
Looks to
Yeah,
be so, yeah.
it is still straying out of range, so I'll leave it up to Akal to fix that though, so I don't accidentally break it. They did already type in the voice chat that they forgot about their AI settings. It doesn't seem to be repairing looking at that health point, at the health points, so that's good. No reaper bots around. And yeah, I just killed the Prowler on low health. The one vehicle today that did not actually get an AI kill. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the inspections. Don't see why any of these vehicles wouldn't pass, although some of them need to be somewhat updated so they don't just DQ. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty nice to have. I'll just be making some screenshots, see what thumbnail I can use. Actually, I can just take this, I think. This should be fine. Save this vehicle with the right name. There we go. And yeah, with that, I think I'm gonna end the video. So, yeah, goodbye.